Good afternoon, students, and welcome to today's lecture on how to be an archaeologist. I'm your professor, Dr. Rob Steffen, and today we are going to take a look at identifying Greek pottery like a pro. Okay, so imagine this. You're at a museum on a hot day, and you stroll past a case of ancient Greek vases. And before your love interest can even squint at the info card, you confidently say, "Ah, classic black figure, probably 6th century BC. Boom! Instant intrigue. But how did you know? Well, the secret to identifying Greek pottery is simple. It all comes down to decoration styles. Over centuries, Greek artists have changed how they painted their pots. And those shifts give us a clear cheat sheet for dating them. With just a few tricks, you'll be spotting styles like a seasoned archaeologist. So let's dive in. Okay, so the earliest distinctive Greek pottery style is geometric. And honestly, it's exactly what it sounds like. Think straight lines, zigzags, triangles, and maze-like patterns covering the whole surface. If you've got stick figure humans and horses squeezed between bands and patterns, well, you're dealing with an 8th century BC funerary vase. It's simple, but don't be fooled. These vases tell epic stories of battles, processions, and heroic deeds. So pro tip, if the pot looks like it was designed by somebody obsessed with graph paper, you've probably got a geometric vase on your hands. Alright, now as we move into the 7th century BC, Greek pottery starts to get a glow up thanks to the city-state of Corinth. These folks were all about miniature, densely packed decorations, with animals covering every inch of the vase. We got lions, we got panthers, we got goats, and we got birds. Sometimes so crowded together, they look like they're all fighting for space. This, my friend, is Corinthian pottery. And it's easy to spot because of its use of black figures on a light yellowish background. Plus, of course, we've got rosettes, those little flower-like dots that fill the gaps. So if you see a pot that looks like an ancient Where's Waldo of tiny animals, well, you've probably got yourself a Corinthian vase. Alright, so now we're getting to the classics. In the 6th century BC, Greek artists started painting their mythological scenes in black silhouettes against the natural orangish red clay. This is known as black figure pottery. And the key here is the sharp contrast between the black figures and the orange background. So artists use the sharp tool to etch details into the black slip, creating expressive faces and intricate drapery folds. You'll see gods, you'll see warriors and athletes all frozen into dramatic poses. Because in this period, everything had to be intense. So if the background is orange and the people are in black, well, you're looking at a black figure vase dating to the 6th century BC. Alright, now by the late 6th century BC, Greek artists realized they could flip the colors to create even more detailed, even more realistic figures. So instead of painting people in black, they left them in the natural orangish red of the clay, and then they painted the background black with a slip. This is known as red figure pottery, which took over in the 5th century BC. Now unlike black figure, where details were scratched in, red figure allowed artists to paint details directly, leading to even more natural poses, shading, and expressive gestures. So if the people are in red and the background's in black, You're looking at a red figure vase from the 5th century BC. Alright, let's throw a bonus one in here as well. So if you see a pot that looks white instead of orange, well, you've probably found yourself a white ground vase. These were super delicate and mainly used for special occasions like funerary offerings. They had painted scenes in soft colors, which made them beautiful, but not very durable. These vases are rare compared to the others, but if you spot one, it's usually from the 5th century BC, sometimes the 4th, and it often has features with delicate, ethereal figures. Alright, so let's go to our instant cheat sheet for a recap. First off, we've got geometric vases dating to the 800s and 700s BC. Those are the ones filled with zigzags, triangles, and stick figures. Next up, we've got Corinthian vases dating to the 600s BC. And here we've got all those tiny little animals packed together against a yellowish background. Next up, to end the Archaic period, we've got black figure vases dating to the 500s or the 6th century BC. And that's when you have the people in black and the background in orangish red. All about drama. Then we hit the classical period in the 400s and 300s BC, right? So the 5th and 4th century. That's where we get red figure, where the people are in orangish red and the background is in black. A bit more realism there. And then finally, we've got white ground vases, and that dates to mainly the 5th century BC. And that's where we get the white background with very delicate paintings. Fancy, but fragile. And there you've got it. With these tricks, you can impress your friends, wow your date, and who knows, maybe even pass your archaeology exam. Now go forth and analyze some pottery just like a pro.